Don't spend my grandson's paycheck. He's only 2 years old. With Obama in the White House, his future's bought and sold. Stop this immoral spending spree. Stop assaulting our liberty. Let me help you comprehend. It ain't your money to spend. Born and bred for freedom, got me a lot of rights. They're all but disappearing before your fiscal appetites. You're taking the fruit of my labor to give to your next door neighbor. I'll say it from beginning to end. It ain't your money to spend. It ain't your money to spend. You're acting like a bunch of jerks. I'm the one who earned it. I'm the one who works. Your income redistribution doesn't jive with the Constitution. So I got a little message to send. It ain't your money to spend.
We're going to talk about the ground rules of how this is going to work tonight. Most of you know, because you've been through this, who can vote. You're a club member, and you live in Howard County, and you're a registered Republican. Those three qualifications, you should have a little gold colored tag. That's how we're going to be able to determine if you can vote when we get to the actual voting period. If you are not a voter, you are still active. That's the beauty of what the Iowa-style caucus is like. You are a supporter and an encourager and an arm twister and a yeller and whatever it takes to get somebody over to your side, okay? So if you're blue, don't be blue. You still are involved in this whole campaign. All right, next one up. Here are the basic ground rules of how we're going to do it. Maryland has 37 convention delegates. We know Howard County doesn't get all them, but tonight we're going to suspend reality and we're going to take them all and divvy them up here in Howard County. Unofficially, of course. Candidates will each have about a 3-minute speech. We may give them 10, 15 seconds beyond that, but we have a very dedicated timekeeper, David Bates, in his third role tonight. We'll be keeping time to try to make sure we stay within the 30 minutes we've allocated to speeches. And then we will be following that, the candidate comments up with what we call preference groups. Look around the room. Everybody see the signage for the different candidates? Some of the candidates may not have speakers, but you can still go over to their locations. For example, the speakers who will not be here tonight are Buddy Romer, back here. Michelle Bachmann and Rick Santorum. All the other members, John Huntsman, Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, Herman Cain, Ron Paul, Gary Johnson, all have representatives who will speak tonight, and all of them have designated areas. Now the idea is, once you've determined that who you're going to vote for, you move to that general vicinity and congregate with that group. And we'll take about 15 or 20 minutes. We will also post up here, when we get a chance, the unaffiliated section. The unaffiliated section will be here in the center where David is. That's why the tape's there. So we'll put that up in a few minutes. And those who are unaffiliated, you're the pot at the end of the rainbow. Everybody is going to descend upon you and try to encourage or entice you to come over to their side. Finally, after about 20 minutes, we will then run a viability test. A viability test is, did that group have 15% of the overall voters in the room? We have 100, I think we have about 50 or so voters. 15% is going to be 7 or 8 people. If they don't have that many, down come their signs, and unfortunately their supporters will have to find a new home. That is what's called realignment. And that realignment, those supporters can either walk out the door if they want and say, the heck with this, I'm done, or they can move back to the unaffiliated area, or they can move directly to another remaining candidate. After realignment is done, we will have a final vote count, and we will divvy up the 37 individual delegates by the different groups that are there. Now, of those 37, we'll have, the people who are in the group have to select delegates. That's the way it's done, who would then move on to a bigger convention to divvy it all up. We are probably going to see how that goes, and with how many, we're divvying up 37 delegates, we may not have enough people to fill all the slots. But we'll deal with that. The final election will get announced. Some of the press who are here will be able to report it tomorrow. Those who are not, I'm sorry to say, they'll also get the word, but they'll be a day late in the process. And we'll send out a press release, and hopefully you'll see it on the news sometime in the next couple of days.